What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm actually going to be talking about a new film called Yesterday. Now, this is a film directed by Danny Boyle and is a musical comedy that stars Himesh Patel as a guitarist, and he lives out way on the East Coast, and what happens is he's a guitarist who strives to be great. He strives to become noticed because he has an agent, but he really does not get that big of gigs, and he really is not like that popular when it comes to his music. Now, then out of nowhere, while riding home, there's a huge power outage around the entire globe, and like the entire globe basically goes out for a few minutes. He gets hit by a bus, he wakes up, and then he realizes he's the only person who remembers who the Beatles are. If you don't know who the Beatles are, what are you doing with your life? Yeah, the Beatles is one of the greatest bands in the history. You guys should really check them out. Now, and then this guy realizes that since the Beatles don't exist, he decides to basically plagiarize their songs to become famous. And then that sets off a movie that I actually had a better time with than I thought I was going to. Because this film reminds me of a film I saw a couple years ago called The Words, which stars Bradley Cooper, and is about a guy who discovers a manuscript and basically writes it himself. Basically writes it and calls it his own. And then he comes across the actual author many years later, and now he feels bad. And so basically it's about don't steal anybody's ideas and try to keep your own ideas. Really, so don't steal other people's, stuff. And that's basically what this film is almost like. But the film is actually set up differently, and this movie actually tells a better story than The Words, in my opinion. Because, okay, so as for what didn't work, there's no explanation as to why the power outage happens. It's never explained, which was a big disappointment for me. But I might be coming off a little bit more judgy than most people did, but in the long run, this movie was pretty good. Sorry. And I did find the acting really good here. Like Lily James and Himesh Patel, they were great here. I loved them. You can really tell this guy really wanted to be good. He plagiarizes their songs, and you can feel the guilt that he's feeling every time he writes a song as his own, even though no one ever seems to know that it was written by somebody else. And you could tell that it really wasn't like something that he was you could tell it was something he wasn't really proud of. So that was something that I really enjoyed about the movie, was that this guy feels guilty the entire time he's doing what he's doing, which I found very enjoyable, to be honest. And what else can I say about the movie? There's actually a scene when he figures out that the Beatles don't exist, so he tries looking them up. There's a scene with the computer where he's trying to figure out, okay, who are the Beatles, and something else pops up, and it's really funny. I highly recommend you check that out because it's really hilarious. I think you would really like that. And there's another one where Coca-Cola doesn't exist either, and he looks it up, and somebody pops up on screen, and it's very funny. I really think you might get a kick out of that. And in the long run, this movie was fine. I did have a better time with it than I thought I was going to. And because of the way this film basically erases the Beatles from existence, there was an ending I was expecting to happen, but it doesn't happen, which I was happy about because it would have ruined the whole movie for me. And the fact that this movie erases the Beatles from existence, and here's a new guy who's basically a new Beatles guy, the movie comes off as a fantasy, which I did enjoy. And in the end, the movie was fine. And if you're a Beatles fan, I highly recommend you check this out. It's really funny. It's very heartfelt, and you can feel his guilt, which I really enjoyed. But in the end, I'm going to give Yesterday a B-. So I enjoyed it. So if you guys are looking forward to seeing it, I highly recommend you check it out. So guys, thank you for watching. Look forward to my next review for Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm going to get that out as quickly as I can. So guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you guys next time.